Steve, when I went for coffee before with Bojan, and we've done it a few times, and we started talking about all kinds of things, football as well sometimes. But especially when we talk about football, I have to stop and think, I'm actually talking to somebody who's been at Barcelona, at AC Milan, at Roma. So not just a friend, but somebody who's gone into an extraordinary journey to get to where he is to. But I guess the thing that makes Bojan a bit different is how normal he is. Hi, Bojan.
Hi.
You go for coffee in Stoke and for a pint, and can you just be normal in your surroundings?
Yeah, in here in England is I can go in these places and the people is really nice.
And they talk to you about football, or they talk to you about because I see you as a friend and somebody that, yes, you've gone through an extraordinary football career, but is that normality, the fact that your world is not just football, that your world is beyond what's in that rectangle? Do people talk to you about other stuff?
The people that I don't know is not normal. They see you as a footballer, and when they come, they normally ask you about about how do you feel. Today I came here with a car, and the guy who was driving, he was asking me all the time, the different experience that I had in my career. So this is normal, and you need to accept this.
So if we had actually recorded the interview with the driver, it would have been more or less what we're going to go through now.
Yes, maybe. Yes.
Do you find it difficult sometimes to go for a pint because you've got a very young face? Do they sometimes ask you if you're 18?
Not now, but when I was 19, 20, yeah, always with my ID. Yeah.
So that is perhaps the biggest difference of English football with everywhere else where you've been, the fact that people can approach you and talk to you, and generally to footballers, but there seems to be like a tremendous respect for the professional.
Yes, here in England, especially here, is the place where I feel more. I feel like respected. Yeah, outside the pitch, is okay. The people they like you as a footballer, but also they respect you because they love football. They love the footballers, and you can enjoy football, without thinking in another things.
Jordi Cruyff, when he was at Alaves, I remember going to see him, and I mentioned Alaves because you've been there as well. And he said that if the team had lost, he couldn't get out of the house because it would be like, Jordi, it was your fault, and why didn't you put that ball in that place? And Spanish football fans are a little bit like that, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the mentality. You can do nothing about this, especially in the places where I've been, Spain, in Italy. It's like when you win, you are the best. When you lose, you are very bad.
Literally, you wouldn't get out of the house when you lose.
In Alaves was not like this. Last year we had a good year in the end, but in Italy, for example, it was like this. It was like this. One game you win, you score, you cannot go in the street because the people, they are really enthusiastic, and when you lose, they go crazy. After the games, they wait for you. It's this
they
kind
wait for
of
you for what?
To say what are you doing in the pitch? You need to win. Yeah, I remember one day we came, especially when I was in Rome, and that year was not that we expected, and we lose, I think, against Juventus, and the fans were waiting for us in the training ground, and they say next game was against Lazio. Is the derby there is the game of the year. They say today you can lose, but next game is no excuse to not win the game, So
But they didn't
pressure.
say it that nicely. They did not say it with
No. Was not that nice.
There were some swear words.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Does it make it really difficult to relax, not just as a footballer, but just as a man when you're trying to live your life?
Yes, for me, yes. There is different characters. You have many players that they don't care about this kind of pressure, and there is players that they are more sensitive, and of course when you are in the pitch, you don't think about these things, but the pressure is outside and is there, and that's why, for example, here in England you don't feel this, and you can like enjoy playing football. It's different. It's different to play here than in these places.
So it's something like when those Roma fans approach you, we can laugh about it now, but it affects you then.
Yeah, no, of course. But it's you need to understand why they do this. It's not because they don't like you. It's because I remember when I was and I am Barcelona fan, but when I was in the stadium, and your team they lose, like you are sad, but not for the players. It's because you want to win, and when you have this mentality, every time when you lose, you get mad. But and then you need to understand this. When I went to Rome, I knew it. So when these things happen, you say, okay, this guy is not happy, but next week if we win, he's gonna be the happy man.
You have said something which was not a secret, that you're a Barcelona fan. Do you remember the first time that you walked into the Camp Nou?
As a fan?
Yeah, the first time you went in.
Yeah, I can remember. Yes.
What happened? Who took you?
I went with my family, because when I started playing there when I was 9 years, and as a player of Barcelona, they give you a ticket. So I went there, and it was a dream. When I'm talking now, I still feel it. This sensation, because since when I came in this world, I watched the Barcelona team playing in the TV, the players. I start playing football, and some days you dream to be one of these guys. So the first time when I came there in the Camp Nou was like one present, big present for me.
Did you come the diagonal way, the diagonal,
Yeah.
which is like a little hill you go down, and little by little this small from the distant stadium becomes bigger?
Yeah.
Or did you come through Las Corts, which is basically just comes to you, this huge
From Las Corts.
building?
From Las Corts.
From Las Corts.
Yeah. I came in the Camp Nou always from Las Corts.
And you joined Barcelona when you were 9.
Yes.
Again, that is a little dream for so many kids in Barcelona. Barcelona opened the doors to a lot of players. So I don't know how many of that year when you came in ended up being professionals.
Not many. And that is not easy. It's a long way. There are many good players that they didn't get it, but not because they not were good enough. It's because in football you need more than the quality, and that's why I feel very proud and what I achieve.
But okay, you start training there, you play games, you wear the Barcelona shirt, you're a happy boy. At what point you start thinking, oh, I am a bit special, I'm a bit different, I could, be a professional of this?
Yeah, when we were young, we played in one pitch next to the mini stadium. Mini stadium is the stadium that the second team is playing there, and from our pitch you can see the mini stadium and the Camp Nou. But when I was playing, I never think that I want to play in the mini stadium and I want to play in the Camp Nou. I was enjoyed because in La Masia, every year was really good for me. It was fantastic years. So the time were really quick. So when I was 15 years old, I was between that pitch and mini stadium. Then I started feeling that the Camp Nou was closer.
But were you taken from your village by a taxi driver in the evenings? Did you have food in the taxi? Was that set up already when you were there?
Yeah, the first 3 years, my mom, she was my drive, my everything, of course. On Monday, because I was in a school in my village.
How far away from the Camp Nou?
Before was 1 hour 30 minutes. Now they
Wow.
make good roads, but before was 1 hour 30 minutes. Yeah, and it was Monday and Friday and Saturday we played the game.
Can you remember your very first day at La Masia? I'd really like to know what it was like the first time you were given a Barcelona shirt and know this is my shirt. I play in this shirt now.
Yes, I remember because when I came in Barcelona, it started from 11 years, from 10, 11 years. And then they make the 8 and 9 years team, and they selected 24 players from 230 players, So when they select me, it was fantastic. It was really, really, really nice. I remember the day my father came to me and he said, Bojan, you have different teams. It was Lleida, Athletic Segre. There are teams in Lleida and Barcelona. And of course, for me, when he said Barcelona was really, really, really nice.
Your dad is an important part of your career, of course. Krkic is not a very Catalan name.
Yeah.
So what's the story of the family?
My father is from Serbia, and he was a footballer, and he came in Spain to play for Sabadell, and he couldn't sign for Sabadell because for the papers and everything. Sabadell is a city closer than Barcelona, so he was already in there in Catalonia in Spain, and his agent said there is one team. Is Mollerusa, that is my village, and that year they play in second division in Spain. So he went there, he started playing there, and he got injured. My mom was infermer,
A nurse.
a nurse. So they meet there.
They met in the hospital?
In the hospital, they met each
As
other
he was
there.
recovering from his injury.
Yes, so he did the recovery there. He met my mom, and after that
Did your dad brought Serbia with him? As in, would he tell you about his town back in Serbia, the problems, I suppose, that have been through as you were growing older? Did he tell you all that?
Yes. Especially when I was young, in the summers and some weeks during the year, I went to Belgrade in Serbia. They come as well in Cambrils for the summer.
What years
we
would
went
that be? When you went on to Belgrade?
Before 9 years, because before I start playing in Barca, because after when I play in Barca, every summer or these weeks you have games, and but before that, I was traveling every year there.
You feel a bit Serbian?
I feel. When I was young, I spoke Serbian perfect and Catalan. Then I started learning Spanish, and after that I didn't practice the Serbian language. Now I can understand. I cannot speak like really good, but of course I feel. I love my father. I know what he did to come in Spain, and to live his life there. So for me, I have the Serbian blood.
What did your school friends say when you first said to them, Barcelona are taking me?
We were young, we were so young. We were 9 years, and I think you don't know exactly what you're gonna start. But of course, my friends, they see in the school when my mom come to pick me to go in Barcelona, and then in the weekend when I said, I played today against these teams, I scored these goals. Your friends, of course, they happy because they want you to have a success career.
Could you still play football with your friends at school, or did Barcelona sort of stop you just in case you got injured?
No, like when I have holidays, you mean? Yeah. Every time when I'm with my friends, I like to enjoy. I like to be like normal. I'm normal, and I like to be normal. That's why every time when I have 2 days, 3 days, I go there to do everything what they do.
Moms are the forgotten heroes of footballers. So you're talking about 3 years in which he drove for an hour and a half to take you to training and then an hour and a half back. Long conversations there, or did you fall asleep, or what was it like?
I remember when the way to training, every time we were singing songs, you know. Yeah.
What kind of songs?
Uh, it was I like all kinds of music, but I remember Maria Dolores Pradera, you know.
Oh my
this
God!
kind
But
of-
you have to have a very good voice for it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have. But I like some songs.
So you shouted.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we were really happy, you know.
You're going to have to explain this artist, Guillem.
It's like
We'll have to play it. I think we'll ask
Yeah.
Paul, the producer, to put a little bit of Maria Dolores Pradera right now.
yeah.
And then you know what we're talking about. And then I imagine on the way back, we're talking about 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10.
No, it was late. I had my everything was ready. My sandwich, like my dinner, and then
Fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asleep, yeah.
So I don't know if 850 goals is a figure that you counted, your mom counted, your dad counted, or was it a Barcelona figure? Who got with?
We had since when I start, we had like some book, you know, and every game we were like writing
So
the
you
goals.
were counting them.
Yeah, we were counting. Yeah,
Okay. 850 goals.
yeah,
So you obviously realized pretty quickly that you were a goal scorer,
yeah,
the coaches as well.
yes,
But you don't look like a number 9.
yeah. That's the thing that I think it's not helped me this number, you know, because when I start as a professional, you know, everyone they talk about that I'm this kind of player, the top scorer, you know. But even when I play like in young things, my position was not the typical number 9 in the box, you know. I like to play like free to move, but I score a lot of goals. Then when I start to play as a professional in Barcelona, I start to play a left wing, so it's a different position, you know. And then I start to learn that if one day I'm not scoring, I can be happy as well if I play good, you know. Because when I was young, if one day I'm not scored, even if I play good, I was really angry, you know. So my football, my kind of to play football it was changed when I became a footballer.
So I guess you were benefited in a way by the appearance of Leo Messi, because Messi was not a typical number 9, but killed all the number 9s along the way to his path to the first team. So people realize, I imagine, you don't have to be in the box to be a goal scorer. You don't have to be the guy waiting for the cross. So were you benefited by his appearance?
Yeah, but you need to be in a team that they play this kind of football. So, you know, for example, my problem, for example, in last year in Alaves, you know, I'm a kind of player that I have these qualities, but if you are in a team that they play a different mentality, you cannot produce your 100%, you know. So I think everyone knows my quality. I know my quality. I know that I can play a number 9, but in a team that with this mentality.
I know sometimes in countries like Spain, when you're a footballer, you're either all or nothing. So when you first were given that the new Lionel Messi tag, were you made to feel by people that if you didn't become the new Messi, then that was a failure? Everything other than the new Messi was a failure.
Yeah. Every time this is difficult, you know, because you need to control the things that you can do, you know. And my first year in Barcelona, I start bringing all the records, you know. I was the first young player to play, the first young player to score, you know. And the people say, yeah, the new Messi, you know. My first year I scored 10 goals in La Liga, so it's like it's the numbers that the people they can say, oh, this guy has some qualities, you know. But they put this name, the new Messi. But this is something that you can do nothing about this, you know. And in the end, you know, it's like, okay, I know my qualities. I know I'm not Messi. I know I'm not other player. I'm Bojan. I know my qualities. I know what I can do, and this is what I want to work to be my best. You know, to give my best. So after that, if the people say this guy was not the new Messi, yeah, I was not the new Messi, but I'm really happy what I did and what I'm doing.
You said in the end you were able to feel like that. Was there a long period where you did struggle and couldn't come to the realization that you've come to today?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Messi scored 3 goals every game. If you score 1 goal, you are not Messi. So it's not easy because also when I went to Rome or when I went to Milan, you go there not as a Bojan, you go there as a new star, as a new Messi. So there, if you go there and you play good, it's not enough. You need to be the best. You need to be the Messi. If you don't do this, it's not enough. That's the thing that was not helping me in all my career. And in the beginning, it's difficult to understand or difficult to manage, but then with the experience, you know what you can do.
In fact, let me put the context of your appearance into this first team scene. You made your debut 16th of September 2007. You were 17 years old and 19 days. And as you said, you broke the record of the youngest Barcelona player to feature in the Liga match. And you replaced Giovanni Dos Santos. I remember at that time being in Barcelona and sensing, I suppose you did as well, that Dos Santos was thrown into the scene kind of to protect you, because everybody was saying, no, Gio is not the good guy.
Yeah.
The really good player is the one that will eventually score a lot of goals with the first team. Did you sense that pressure?
In the beginning, no. That pressure became after 2-3 years, when you realize what are you doing and what it happens outside of
everything goes very fast.
Everything goes very fast. Yeah. I remember, I like to. I have a collection of shirts of the big players, of the players that I met, and the first year, I played with amazing players. I played against amazing players, and in that moment, it was not in my mind to ask for the shirts, because my mind was there, but was like dreaming.
We told you to come up with an 11 of your time in Barcelona, so we can see who you were playing with, and I think we'll talk about some of those guys. But what would be the best 11 from Barcelona players that you played with?